Hey guys, this is Unichuni, and I've noticed that there's a lot of misinformation spreading around the internet about My Hero Academia. So to help combat that, I decided to make this video explaining the quirks of some of the villains in the My Hero Academia series. However, I don't think it's necessary to go through every single villain in the story, so I'm just gonna cover the main villains who are relevant to the story. Oh, and before I forget to mention, this video will contain very heavy manga spoilers, so if you are not caught up with the My Hero Academia manga, I can just suggest you do so immediately. And since most of you guys who are watching this video are probably manga readers and already know this information, I'll keep this video as summarized as I possibly can. So let's get right into the video. Chizome Akugoro, aka Stain, the hero killer. Quirk, Blood Curdle. By using the bleeds that he carries around with him, Stain cuts his enemies and is able to paralyze them by ingesting their blood. The effect time depends on the blood type of the victim and how it correlates to Stain's own blood. Type B blood will be affected the longest at 8 minutes, followed by AB blood, then type A blood, and finally type O blood will be affected the shortest amount of time. Stain is the start of a rebellion of misfits and criminals who are fed up with their lives in the hero society. As we see from his fight with Izuku, Todoroki, and Ida, his quirk is best suited for one-on-one situations, but through training he has gotten to the level where he can fight multiple opponents and still be okay. Shigaraki Tomura, the current leader of the League of Villains, and possibly the grandson of All Might's predecessor of One for All. Quirk, Decay. Tomura's quirk makes anything that he touches crumble to pieces. It can be a person or an object. Either way, once he touches it, it will crumble. However, from his run-in with Midoriya at the mall, we see that his quirk only activates if all 5 of his fingers touch the victim. We're not sure if he can control the speed of disintegration or not yet though. He is hell-bent on murdering All Might, and has been trained by All for One, and now has plans to destroy the Hero Society, and as of recently has contracted with the 8 Presets of Death. We see from his run-ins with Overhaul and Eraserhead that even though he has a childlike temper, Tomura has an extremely good grasp on his abilities and how to use them. Himiko Toga, alias Best Girl, Kami, quirk, Metamorphosis. Himiko's quirk allows her to imitate anyone's appearance as long as she consumes their blood. As we saw when she impersonated Lockrock, she can become a perfect replication of the person, including their clothes and even their voice. In fact, she was so much of an authentic copy that she even fools Eraserhead. Unfortunately though, as we saw when she imitated Uraraka during the license exam, her quirk can only copy their looks, no knowledge, no personality, and she can't copy their quirk either. However, to anyone who is not extremely vigilant, Toga will be an extreme threat to them. She excels in stealth tactics and killing. She is currently on the run for several murders that she has committed. She wants to follow in Stain's footsteps, which is the reason she joined the League of Villains. She is currently attending Shiketsu High under the alias of Kami. Jin Bubagawara, alias Twice. Quirk, Double. Whoever Twice touches, he is able to create copies of them or even himself. The clones he makes are perfect replicas, having both the ability and personalities of the original. So much so to the point that the clones can become sentient and sometimes rebel against the original. His memories are fuzzy, so he doesn't remember if he is in fact the original Twice or just one of the copies of the original. His costume seems to be able to keep his split personality in check. After joining the League of Villains, twice has found people who accept him for who he really is, and now he has a place to call home, and he is willing to put his life on the line for his comrades. Dabi. Now, Dabi is just a name that he goes by. At this moment, his real name is unknown because he refuses to give it out. His name is not the only thing that's mysterious though. His quirk is also extremely mysterious. His quirk allows him to shoot fire from both of his hands, which burns the victims completely within seconds of contact. With all of the burn marks over his body, we can't be 100% sure if he is able to control his flames or not. As we see from the infiltration of the training camp, Dabi really hates it when plans fall apart, and he desperately wants to fulfill Stain's goal. Before joining the League of Villains, Dabi was only a small-time criminal, but after hearing Stain's ideals, Dabi decided that he would walk in the footsteps of the hero killer to help bring forth a new world where hero society doesn't rule. Kudo, which literally translates to Black Fog. Quirk, Warp Gate. Kudo body is made up entirely of black mist that he can manipulate and control and use as portals. The portals that he makes are all coordinate based. So before he makes a portal, he has to know exactly where he wants the portal to open up to. Because of this, during battle, he has to always know where his allies are if he wants to help them. If he becomes disillusioned or disoriented, his power becomes null. As we see from his encounter with Bakugo and Todoroki, his real body in the form of the metal plates are his weakness. He is the person that seems to be keeping Shigaraki's temper at bay and stopping him from getting himself killed. All for One, the true leader of the League of Villains and the main antagonist for the world of Hero Society. Quirk, All for One. This quirk allows the user to steal the quirks of others and make it their own. The user of All for One is also able to give the stolen powers to others if they desire. This is the reason why the Nomu have multiple quirks inside of them. He originally planned on living indefinitely, but thanks to the fight between him and All Might 5 years ago, his body is damaged way beyond repair. As we saw in the most recent fight between All for One and One for All, he may now be at the end of his journey. At this point, All for One has trained his successor, Shigaraki, to take over for him. Atsuhiro Sako, also known as Mr. Compress. Quirk, Compression. His quirk allows him to compress his victims down into a marble without killing them. He uses this quirk to kidnap Bakugo and Tokoyomi during the training camp. We see that he is able to release his victims from the marble by snapping his fingers or simply by saying it. He can also use the quirk on himself to shrink down, avoid an attack, and then return to regular size. This makes him extremely deadly on stealth missions because he can pop right behind his target and turn them into a marble before they even have a chance to react. The marbles that he makes are so small that they can fit into your pocket or even into your mouth. Chisaki, aka Overhaul, the leader of the 8 Precepts of Death. Quirk, Overhaul. By simply touching anything, he is able to disassemble it and reassemble it. It doesn't matter if it's alive or not. We see many times that with this quirk, he can instantly kill people without them having a chance to react. His quirk can also be used to heal people from any ailments that they face. He is also able to bring back anyone that he has killed. He currently has a little girl that he claims to be his daughter held hostage and is experimenting on her to help further advance his goals. Overhaul and everyone around him wear plague masks and they really resent dirty places. Before coming to an agreement with Shigaraki and the League of Villains, Overhaul kills one of the members of the League of Villains and also took off one of their arms. Overhaul is a Yakuza-style boss who has gotten his subordinates' loyalty to the extreme. They value him so much that they put his life above their own and have sworn an oath of everlasting loyalty. Rappa. Rappa is currently working under Overhaul in the 8 Precepts of Death. He was originally a street fighter until the day that Overhaul beat him, and he decided to follow Overhaul until he got his vengeance back. Rappa's quirk allows him to increase the strength and speed of his punches. His knuckles become rock hard and he is able to use them to overwhelm his enemies. We see from his encounter with Red Riot and Fat Gum that even heroes with defensively based quirks can be taken down by his punches easily. Rappa is a natural born fighter, and thanks to that, he is always on the lookout for a new fight. So much so to the point that he will provoke strangers into fighting him just to prove how much more superior that he is. On occasions, he will even turn to friendly fire if he feels like the opponent would give him a good fight. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up this video. I hope all of you guys have enjoyed, and if you didn't know something, then I hope that this video taught you a thing or two. Guys, if you have any opinions on what you want to see next, be sure to comment down below and let me know. Hey, until the next video guys, best wishes.